morning this morning. My name is RochellehMosley, and this is Beauty, Business, and Banking. And if this is your first time watching, welcome. Please subscribe and share. Today, I have a special guest. She's such a beautiful spirit. She's my daughter, CharliRose Mosley. And before we get into the meat and potatoes of what I really want to talk to her about, I wanted to make sure that we got some dialogue about college. Her first year in college, now she's in her second year in college, and also just a few tips that I've learned about sending my child to college. I went to college when I was in my 40s, so it was very, very different. And when I sent my son to college, it was just a little different in sending my son to college than it was sending my daughter to college. So today I just wanted her to share a few tips if you're on your way to college, or if you're a parent that have a kid going to college for the first time. I just want to share some tips first. Charlie.
Hey. Some tips that I would definitely say. Oh.
What? First, I have an icebreaker question.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Give me a few things that you like about yourself and why.
A few things that I like about myself. Okay. I love my open-mindedness. I love the patience that I have with myself. And I also love my ability to adapt to any situation that I'm in.
Okay. A few things I like about myself is I do it even when I'm afraid. You know, even doing this podcast, believe it or not, every single time that we're supposed to film, I'm like, should I be doing this? Why am I doing this? And then I realized, and then I would get a note from someone that really appreciate what they hear, or tell me to keep going, give me some words of encouragement. So yeah, I definitely like that about myself. I like that I feel accomplished in raising my kids. I do feel accomplished. I feel like I did the best I possibly could in raising you guys, and I see the results. I love about myself is that I'm getting control over my money. Getting control over my money, learning how to stop, how to fold, when to roll. Learning those things about myself. So yeah, those things about myself.
Amazing.
And before we get started, I just want to do just a little something just to get us open, because I know you're a little nervous. I'm a little nervous. I want to try this brownie.
Okay.
You like brownies?
I do.
You do?
Yes.
I don't like
You don't?
brownies.
Okay.
I don't like brownies.
Okay.
So let's see, because she said it's from the little, what is it? The Little Fat Girl. Mm-hmm. The company is called the Little Fat Girl, and this brownie is for people who don't like brownies. So we're going to try the brownie.
Okay.
Let's see.
Just break it in half.
Yeah.
Oh, it's soft.
Yeah, it's soft. Real soft. Let's see.
Good.
What do you think, Asha? It's good.
It's really good. And I like brownies. This is good.
I don't taste that gooey thing that I don't like about brownies. I like this. Okay, little fat girl.
This is good. Yeah, that's good. I can't
I
even
like
go back.
it. I like that. That is fantastic. Try this.
This is so good.
It is good. It's actually good.
This bag might not be here by the end of today. No, I'm not gonna lie.
Because she has a sweet tooth.
I do. Indeed.
Yeah.
And that's amazing.
So I know that you're in your second year in college now. But let's go back to your first year.
Okay.
What are some things that you wish you would have known before you got to college? Things that happened that you was like, oh my God, I wish somebody would have told me this. Oh, I wish somebody would have told me that.
I don't feel like I have many. I feel like I have one thing that I wish someone would have told me.
What?
Be prepared for whoever you're going to come encounter with. And what I mean by be prepared is be open-minded to the people that you're going to meet. Be understanding, because not everybody was raised the way that you are. And have discernment. And discernment means the ability to judge your situations and people around you very well. I think that's very important. And I feel like that's the only thing I would be like, I wish someone would have told me this, to have an open mind, to have that eye out when making friends and talking to people, roommates, everything. 100%.
Are there any experiences that you had that you don't want to have again, or that you want to do again?
I feel like I would live with people.
Okay.
Actually, let me take that back. No, I would not. I think
Let me take that back. No, I would not.
That. Can you repeat the question?
I want you to tell us some experiences that you had that you want to try again, and then maybe some experiences that you don't want to try again.
Okay, what I don't want to try again is my roommate experience. I will not be trying that again. I feel like I learned very well from the first time that I enjoy my solitude and I like to be in my own space and like all of that. 100% on the roommate situation. And then something that I would definitely do again is live in the city. I really enjoyed living in the city, like I actually did. And I feel like it was just an amazing experience. I was able to get up, like go to the deli, like live the New York life. I feel like that was very, very fun. So I would definitely do that again.
Yeah. I had a few of my friends and clients saying, but she's a New York girl. I'm like, she's not a New York girl. Charlie was not raised in New York. She was raised in upstate New York, which is, upstate in the suburbs, and in New Jersey. New York City is a whole nother animal. Getting on that train, getting on that bus. Now you have the ability to use the bicycles now. The walkability, it's just a lot of things that you were able to experience in the city that you could not get in New Jersey, or you could not get upstate. And I kept telling people that. I was like, she is not a New York girl. This is a totally different experience for her.
Yeah.
So I'm happy that we were able to even give you that experience, because I wanted you to have the experience. Yes, I was afraid of that experience. And I was like, I don't know. But I see that we made it through the first year. Now we're on our second year. And I'm also happy that you decided what you don't want to do was have a roommate. And you was like, Ma, I love the school. I don't love that roommate situation. Like, that is not working with me. That's not the thing. But that was also your challenges when we went on our visits. Remember when we went to visit the schools?
Yeah.
You was like, oh, the campus is cool, but this dorm?
Yeah, the dorm is tiny. Like, it's quite tiny. And I've been privileged to live in like my own room my entire life. So I'm like, this is basically the size of my room. Like, how it's been like my entire life. So now I'm like, 2 people need to live in here to share a bathroom?
Yeah.
And to live like that and sleep 5 feet away from each other? No.
Yeah.
No.
That was a lot.
That was a lot. Like, I was
a lot.
overstimulated every single day. I woke up, I was overstimulated. Because I'm like, I like my solitude. I like to meditate, stretch, like vibe, put some music on. But you gotta be considerate of the other person there.
Right.
And it's like, you don't want to be rude. You don't want to like be inconsiderate at all in any way, shape, or form, because it's like, this is both of our spaces, like everything. So it was just a lot to take into consideration. And I just like to be by myself sometimes.
Right. Okay. Well, in life, you are going to have, you should want to figure out how you can coexist with other people, especially in relationships. You're going to have to coexist with someone else.
Yes.
So I guess, having an experience the first time and you didn't like it, how do you feel, how challenging do you think it's going to be when it is time for you to be in a relationship and you are going to have to figure out how to coexist?
That's a good question. That is a really good question. Because genuinely, I feel like we don't have to live together, though. If we're like, if we're dating, like, we're not living together.
I'm just saying dating, right?
But like, if we're like married, like, we're gonna need to have mad rooms in the house or something. Like, I need my solitude in one way, shape, or form.
Okay.
Like, the second that I get overstimulated by somebody else in my presence, it's like the conversation's not gonna go. It's not gonna be a good vibe. It's not gonna be the CharliRose y'all know in the day-to-day. It is going to be me angry, irritated, and overstimulated.
Right.
Which one do you want? That's all I'm saying. Which one do you want? Because I'm going to need some space. I'm going to need some time and alone time. Because that's why I feel like I thrive the most creatively, like personally, mentally, everything is when I'm in solitude and just need a moment. Like, I don't need you breathing down my neck every 3 seconds. I barely want you calling me every day. Barely. Well, no, you can call me. Don't worry.
Well, I felt like you did thrive more and better when we were out for COVID and you had to do homeschool.
Yes.
I was like, wow.
I love that.
And I know a lot of people, a lot of my clients were complaining about their kids not thriving during COVID. And I told them, I said, my kid is, you know, she got the best grades that she's ever had. Like she's, you know, experimenting with her hair and she's, you know, just learning herself inside and out. Like I just felt like at that time that I just saw you just blossom into another person. And, you know, I didn't realize that that's what you needed was some alone time. Because I also realized when we did our words of affirmation, I mean, was it our
love language.
No, acts of what is it?
Love language?
Love language. When we did our love language, right? And all three of us, me, you, and Chance, Chance is my son, we all said that we didn't like personal time. We didn't like it. We didn't like it. And I was like, wow, like just to think that we all needed our alone time, our time to just hear ourselves and our time to just think and our time to just, you know, figure things out. You don't always need somebody there to, you know, punch the buttons for you. Yeah. And I've noticed that about the three of us, that we didn't need that. We just wanted to just think. And if we wanted to come to the table, we came to the table.
Yes.
And we didn't pressure each other because we understood that was not our love language. So that was cool.
100%.
Yeah. So as a parent, with one son through college and a child in college, it was like 7 things that I learned as a parent sending kids to college. Like I went to college when I was 45 years old. So I feel like that don't even count. Like I didn't even know what to tell you as a teenager going to college. I didn't know what to tell Chance as a teenager going to college, but I did learn things as a parent. So the first thing I learned was you go from caregiver to coach. Meaning when I'm constantly on you, did you do your homework? Did you take a shower? Did you brush your teeth? Did you put on deodorant? You know, you just have to coach now. And just believe that everything that you gave them is going to stick and they're going to use it when they need to use it. You have to back off. I definitely learned to back off. Let them own their own experience. Let you guys have your own experience. I decided that I'm not going to get in the way of it. You know, if you got to skin your knee, you got to skin your knee. If you have to go through certain experiences and go through different things, I have to let you go through it. Let you figure it out on your by yourself, right? Let you figure things out on your own. I don't have to always come to your rescue. Chance, Charlie, what do you need? What it is? I can do it. I can do it. I can do it. No. I realized that when I let you guys figure things out, things went so much more smoother. And then it gave you a chance to be proud of yourself.
Yeah.
You feel that?
Yeah,
be, you know, proud of yourself without your mom's help, without dad's help, without auntie's help, just to let you do things on your own. So I'm doing good.
Yes, you are.
I'm doing good, right? Stop calling you all the time. I had to stop calling. I felt like when you were in college, you called me more than I called you. I looked on you to find my friends to see where you was at. But I said, I'm not going to keep calling her. I'm not going to keep, make you nervous about being there, about your surroundings and stuff like that. I said, I'm going to let you do you, right? I became a better listener. I said that I wanted to become a better listener to you. When you're calling me for stuff, do you want my advice or do you just want me to listen? And when you gave me the one of the two, and I abided. Sometimes I listened and sometimes I gave advice whenever you felt like that's what you needed. Because I feel like when you're telling your kids, well, when I was your age, I did this, and when I was your age, and I did that. Yeah, when I was your age, I ain't have no money. I ain't have no access to no money. I couldn't go nowhere. So You know what I'm saying? So it's like when I was your age, it was a lot of things that I didn't have privy of doing. I couldn't do them. You know, for one, parents either saying no or I just didn't have the money. You know, of course I left home when I was 15. Yeah. So it was a lot of things I did, and then some things I just couldn't do because lack of income. Right? And also, I wanted to, the one other thing I learned was to have your kids understand nothing is carved in stone. They can always change. Nothing is carved in stone. They can always change. I have to say that again. Make your kids understand. Have them understand. Nothing is carved in stone. They can always change. The worst thing in the world is to get into a situation, especially college, and waste your mother's money. That is the 100% bad thing to do because other people are going to college. Other kids are going to college. Your friends' kids are graduating. Your friends' kids is doing this and doing that. Don't put that pressure on your kids. Let your kids have the option to change their minds. The same way you have your option as a parent to change your mind, have a conversation, come up with a different plan. That's what I learned. And the last thing, help your kids understand running is not the answer to the problem. I constantly tell my kids that running is not the answer to the problem. Let's figure it out. It's always another way to get to that same place. Always another way. Quitting is not an option. So that's what I learned about sending my kids to college. I mean, I hope that you guys as parents that got kids going to college really took something from that and really listened to that. If you didn't, rewind it. Stop it right now and rewind it and listen to it again. Because it's one of those things that as parents, we just want things to be a certain way. And we want things to be a certain way because we saw other people to do it. But have your kids open for their own things. Nothing is carved in stone. And understand that running is not the issue, is not the resolve to the problem. Okay.
Yes.
Did you realize I learned all that stuff?
I remember you had like a revelation. You were like, I have to be your coach.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh yay.
Yeah. And I actually learned the caregiver, the coach thing from the parent orientation when they had you guys to leave.
Oh yeah.
That was that parent orientation, as a parent, do not miss that meeting. Don't miss that meeting. You're going to learn everything you need to know about the school, about the teachers, about the curriculum, about the background of the school. Everything you need to know about that school is going to be at that parent orientation meeting. Do not miss that meeting. And that's your chance to get involved. That's your chance to ask the questions. That's your chance to start understanding that your child is not in a babysitting community. That's what I learned. That your child's not in a babysitting community. It's no curfews. It's nobody. It's nobody hounding them for homework. It's nobody making sure they eat. It's nobody washing clothes. It's nobody doing any of those things that I pray that you guys taught your children. I had a couple behind me at the orientation meeting. I was like, oh my God. The kid don't know how to cook. The kid don't know how to wash clothes. The kids don't. Oh, she never makes her bed because they had housekeepers. Oh, she never did this because I was like, oh my God. I was like, I hope she ain't Charlie's roommate. That's all I could say. I hope she's not your roommate. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know, right? My name is RochellehMosley. I'm the owner of Salon 804, and I've been a stylist for over 30 years. And I've had my hair blonde for over 20 years. But what I've noticed about the products that I use on my hair was blue, my hair is green, my hair is brown. So I had to develop my own product, the Nancy Foam. The Nancy Foam is purple so that it will help with the rays of the sun and my hair won't turn yellow. Fantastic. fantastic. I have no problem with green, blues, browns, or anything. My hair is always beautifully blonde. My Nancy foam is everything. If you're interested in buying the Nancy foam, you can get it at RochellehMosley.com or follow me on Instagram at RochellehMosley. So it's time to get into the meat and potatoes of why I really invited you here. You wrote an ebook.
I did.
What's the name of your ebook?
It is called The Transformative... Wait, sorry. It's about the transformative power of positive thinking.
Yeah, that's it.
But it's talking about how to change your mindset from a negative outlook to a positive outlook.
So I printed it out.
That looks really good.
I printed it out. And I printed it out because I wanted to keep it.
Okay.
And when I printed it out, you know, I cried.
Did you actually?
Yeah, because I just was like, this is so beautiful that you even created, you know, it's 17 pages.
Yes, it is.
Very straight to the point.
Very straight to the point.
You know, transforming your mindset from a negative to a positive outlook. I mean, Charlie, it's very well written.
Thank you.
It's very well done. Talking about your mental health. See, you talk about your mental health in here. How important is the mental health for you?
Extremely important for me. I feel like I never actually told anyone this, but my spring semester of college, I actually moved back home. Like one night I was just like, I have to be at home. Like I need my solitude. Like nothing wrong with my roommates or nothing, but I was just like, I have to go. Like I have to be home. Like I can't do this. And because I felt like I had no time for like my own personal downtime. It's like, yes, like your roommate can be the best person in the entire world, but there's still another presence in the room. Like it could be silence, it could be no problems, but like there's still someone else in the room. So I felt like I had to come home, I had to gather myself, I had to figure out where am I right now. Like I felt like I was just completely outside of myself at college because I just had no time for the me time that I've always had. So I felt like that was just a pivotal point where I was like, mental health is important. It's something that we need to be talking about. It's something that we need to be prioritizing. And yeah, I feel like it definitely that like time going back home and realizing that like solitude is something for me, that was like, okay, this is something serious. This is something that we really need to be talking about, something that we need to be prioritizing.
Right. What is self-image for you?
Self-image for me, it's the way that I see myself. When I wake up in the morning, when I look in the mirror, how I feel about myself walking in a day-to-day based on how do you want to show up in this world? And two, how do you actually show up in this world? Those are two completely different things.
So what's the difference?
So the difference is, one, how you want to show up in this world is, in a way, a persona of how you want to show up.
Right.
And I realized that in college, actually, based on like people that I met and like how people started to change. And I was like, okay, like the way that they truly believe about themselves and the way that I truly believe about myself and the way that I'm portraying myself is the exact same thing. The way that I believe myself to be and the way that I show up in this world is easily the exact same thing to me. But I started to realize with observing and realizing people around me and talking to everyone that like the person that they actually were and the person that they were showing up to be in the first few months of college began to disintegrate. Because you cannot uphold something that you not actually are.
Right.
So yeah.
Yeah. Wow. What's your formula for personal growth?
My formula for personal growth? It is know yourself, be yourself, and see yourself.
You know, sometimes when you're talking about see yourself, like a lot of times for me, I don't really see what other people see.
Yeah.
You know, I don't see this thing like when I started the podcast, I was like, oh, I saw it. I saw where it could go, but how it has evolved over time and how I have evolved over time and, you know, my subjects have evolved over time. I really didn't foresee that for myself. Because fun fact about me, I am a stutterer, and sometimes my brain is moving faster than my mouth can move, and I start to stuttering, and I get embarrassed, and then I get, all the things. So I don't get to really see myself how other people see me. I just try to see myself most times in how I want to be, not necessarily how I am in that moment. Because if I do it how I am in that moment, fear would take over. False evidence appearing real will take over, and then I just won't do any said thing.
I feel like, in other words, rather than saying see yourself, sometimes I say learn yourself.
Learn yourself.
Learn, digest, evaluate. That's why I like journaling. Because journaling, you can really put everything out on a page. You can reread it. You can understand like your thoughts in the times, and also recording yourself. That's why I love my YouTube channel, because I can record myself for this entire week, and then I can be like, oh, let me rewatch this. Let me edit this. Oh, this is how I act. This is what I do. This is my mannerism. This is this. This is that. It's like studying yourself in a way to see yourself and to understand.
And so do you have compassion for yourself? Because you talked about compassion in the book as well.
Yes, I do. I feel like everything that's in the book right now is everything that I'm continually learning and continuing growing on, because I feel like you can't always be 100% in everything. That's why I was like, if I write this out, this is how I feel right now when I feel my best. So this is the blueprint that I want to take as I grow through life.
Right. What are some tips that you would give someone to actually train their mind? Because I know for me, sometimes I can't turn my brain off. I feel like sometimes when I lay down and go to sleep, I want to just go to sleep, but I just can't, flick that switch. I wish I could just go click, click, and then it's just my brain would just be off. So do you have any tips on how to train your brain?
100%. Because I feel like I struggle with that as well. That's why I wrote the book, of course.
Right.
But a lot of the times, like, racing of the mind comes with anxiety, or is formed from anxiety. So for me personally, I had to build in systems for myself that I can always go back to, like a habit stack. If you ever read Atomic Habits, it talks about habit stacking and how little activities that you do throughout your day can create a huge difference. So at nighttime, I definitely would suggest that if you have a racing mind, meditating. And
see, that's the thing I have a challenge with the meditate. It's like sitting there, and I know the monkeys start jumping around in my head. And some people say follow the monkeys because they're saying something. Other people say ignore the monkeys. So what has been your experience?
For me, I really am just think about a question mark. I think about a question mark in my head. That's all I do. And it's kind of like, it's like we all kind of have this space in our consciousness that some people call it third eye, some people just call it consciousness, but it's like a space right here that you can go to. It's hard to explain.
But it's always something moving there for me. It's for real. I go to that space.
Yeah.
And it's always something moving. If it's dots moving, it's it's something always moving fast. And I'm just I'm trying to slow it down, but then I also know when I ignore it, I fall asleep. In my meditation, when I ignore it, I fall asleep.
Yeah.
If I'm following it, I'm just I'm following it, but it's I don't know, should I follow it? Should I ignore it? So it just kind of.
Yeah, it's like a in-between moment.
Yes.
That's a good question.
That's interesting, right?
That is very interesting.
Yeah.
Because I'm just it's kind of weird to say, but sometimes I'm just do it. Because I'm it's hard to explain it in a way, because everybody's consciousness and mind is wired so differently. Right. So it's some people have different levels of control over their mind and over their thoughts and everything. And some people can settle them, and others it can overtake. That's why I say it's you have to find the best habit for you. And that is trial and error. Whether journaling doesn't work for you, try cold showers. That helped for me in anxiety and waking up and just having a pacing mind. Hop in that cold shower real quick. We're locked in. So for me personally, that works. But there's so many different activities that you can do and try to help cope.
How do you challenge challenge your negative beliefs? How do you get it going?
Okay, so one, I establish what the negative belief is, and then I establish exactly what the opposite contradicting to that is, which is the positive of it, and I force myself. And when I mean like this is not even like a joke. When I mean force myself to do the positive, like, and continuously enforcing myself. It's like you are literally like fighting down a wall that you have been building up with this negative belief. Because the negative belief is being piled on, and the attachment and emotional attachment that you have to a negative belief is extremely hard to break down unless you force yourself to do the positive and the contradicting of the negative. So when I say like, say your negative belief is always telling yourself that like, is always talking down on yourself, and like, if you do something bad, you're always like, Charlie, you could have did this, Charlie, you could that, you coulda, woulda, shoulda. It's coulda, woulda, shoulda. Okay, it's in the past.
I always say coulda, woulda, shut up. Coulda, woulda, shut up.
I'm crying, no, literally, because it's like you can't change anything in the past, nor can you change the future. The only thing you can focus on is your present. So when it comes to a negative belief, you're presently into that negative belief, but in order to actually change that for the future, before the cycle recircles around, because at the end of the day, a cycle will not be changed unless you forcefully change it.
Right.
It will always show back up in your life, no matter what, period. So by 100% just saying that like, I'm going to sit here and read these affirmations, or I'm going to sit here and I'm going to go talk to this person because I'm like terrified of talking to people. Putting yourself out there and doing it with fear, like you said, you always do things even though you're afraid of it. Continuously do that when it comes to your personal being. It doesn't always have to be something that's outside of yourself. Right. Challenge yourself on the interior. And I feel like for me personally, that was just such a changing point in my personal growth journey and like everything, because I was challenging myself so hard to learn myself, to reprogram to become this person that I wanted to be. Because that's really what it is. It's a reprogramming. It's a rewriting of the story that you're living in. So being very intentional, I feel like that's also very important, because intention allows to drive action. So yeah.
Were you always this confident?
Was I always this confident?
No. Like, who is I'm sitting here like, who am I? Who is this lady? Who is this lady that I'm talking to? Like, this is really, really beautiful. I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
I really am. I really am. Can you share with the people some of your affirmations that you probably know about, that you know by heart, that you just say just off GP? Like, this is how I'm feeling. It's my affirmation for now.
Yes. Okay, for me, I got to be real nitty gritty. I got to be real Gen Z about it. Okay. So I be looking in the mirror like I'm a bad biddy. Okay. If y'all don't know what bad biddy look is, look at the Urban Dictionary. I am her. Like, I'm standing in my power. I am beautiful. My skin is beautiful. My hair is beautiful. I walk in a room and I hold presence. I am disciplined, energized, and inspired. I am constantly attracting amazing friendships and people into my life. And I can go on forever, but that is a couple. I made a vision board because I feel like seeing things is so important. Like every day I'm like, this is who I want to be. So taking that intentional step and placing that like right next to where I brush my teeth at is so important. So if you're working on affirmations, make sure there's a place where you can write it down, a sticky note where you're brushing your teeth and you're saying it. I also have this mantra. I'm just gonna say it. It's, I am about to walk into the most successful period of my life. I naturally attract good fortune and I am wealthy in more ways than one. I allow myself to prosper and to grow and love in this world, and it's something else. And I love myself. It's something like that.
I like it,
but
though.
It starts like that, y'all.
Yeah,
I
like that. I like that. I like that, though. I really do. I do. You know, it was something in this book that I like too, that you said, when it comes to becoming the best version of yourself, it is not about the you versus, it's not about you versus you. It's about you and you. I like that.
Yeah.
Because I noticed that the you versus you is you against yourself.
Exactly.
And then the you and you is like you for yourself. That's what I got out of it. Like, what was your thoughts in even writing it?
Okay, so I've been watching a whole bunch of podcasts and everything. So I feel like that is one thing that stuck with me while listening to my podcast and reading books and things, was talking about you and you. Because when we're talking about building through our negative beliefs and everything, it's like it can be very easy to like be the enemy against yourself.
Right.
It's like, I'm over here telling myself I can't do this, I'm doing that. It's like you're so self-criticizing. But if you realize that the past version of yourself and the future version of yourself and the present version of yourself is all the same exact person, it starts to humanize yourself again.
Right.
Because it's like you kind of dehumanize yourself when you are being so negative and talking so frowned upon yourself. So when I mean by you and you, it's like you're building with your past experiences, the present moment, to build up something that's going to be amazing for the next version of you, in whether that's 20 minutes from now, an hour from now, 3 days, 3 years, it could be whatever. But putting yourself in a box that putting yourself in a box that you are not yourself eventually makes you sad and puts you into a depression and puts you into everything that you don't want to be in. So allowing yourself to be a friend to yourself, that's really what I mean by that. You and you is we're friends. We're getting to know this together. We're challenging these negative beliefs together. Exactly.
I love that. Oh my God. Like, I mean, it's so relatable though. And especially a teenager, like you're 18 years old.
Yeah.
Speaking this type of work that you're doing with yourself, it's amazing. How do you feel about therapy?
Therapy is so great. So great. When I mean therapy is great, therapy is great. Okay, I signed up with BetterHelp, not sponsored, but I love y'all so much. Genuinely, I feel like it was just so easy to find a therapist. And talking to my therapist was amazing because it's like sometimes you just need to talk to somebody outside of your family, outside of your friends. You know that like when you chat, it's not going to be brought up to somebody else in another room. It's like I can really just sit here and let my thoughts go, and I know it's not going to be nowhere else. It's like talking to yourself, like in a way. It's like, because when we're venting to ourselves, for me, I talk to myself all the time. But when you're venting to yourself, you have no way to receive any kind of feedback, to understand if what you're saying is actually logical in any way, shape, or form. It's like sometimes like it can feel like you don't know what you're doing. But like when you talk to other people, it's like every piece of advice that anybody else is giving to you is just based on their life experience and their perception and their projection. So I felt like therapy was just very clean. It was a clean slate. It's like therapist is not coming from their own personal experience. They're coming from this like very structured and like logical and just you can do it. Like, you know what I mean?
Like a make it make sense.
Like a make it make sense.
Yeah.
Like, yes. I love it. So yes, I definitely encourage therapy 100%.
Wow. I mean, just sitting here talking to you, it's just like, I feel like I'm going to ask you, what is a time that you exceeded your expectations?
That's actually a good question.
I know of a time, but
there's
go ahead.
so many times.
I
feel like there's so many times. Like, because me personally, I have stopped placing expectations on like everything in my life. Because the expectation that you place is what you would do in a situation, not necessarily what the other person would do in that situation. So I'm just like, if I place an expectation about like something going well or like something, I feel like it just takes away from the present moment of what I'm actually doing, and I'm expecting that this is going to go this way. It leaves no room for just life. You know what I mean? So I definitely feel like I just lost my train of thought.
I was just asking about when is a time in your life that you exceeded your expectations?
Okay. I feel like a time when I exceeded my expectation, when I got into high school. Like, when I got into high school, that was just so, like, crazy to me. Dude, that was
So tell them about that
crazy.
experience when you got in there.
Okay,
like
so
getting in there.
So basically, I was trying to, for my high school, you had to take a test. for me personally, I'm not the best standardized tester. So I did not pass the first time, and I did not get into the school. I got no acceptance letter. Everyone's getting these acceptance letter. I didn't get it. So basically, my mom was like, you could take the test again. I have no clue how she pulled those strings for me to take the test again and for me to get into the school. But she was like, you are going to have to study. You're going to have to buckle down. And you're going to have to just basically stand on business and lock in. So I said, okay. This is no TV. This is manifestation on lock. I'm looking at this school every day, thinking about the cookies at the school, everything. Because, I was just thinking about the food, okay? But I'm thinking about everything, and I'm just like, wow, like, okay, I'm going to go take the test. My dad dropped me off to take the test. I'm bawling my eyes out. I'm crying. I'm bawling. He's like, why are you crying? And I'm like, I'm so scared. Like, I don't know how it's gonna work. I'm doing all that. And then I'm like, okay, whatever, just go take the test. I took a deep breath and I just put it in the Lord's hand. And I got that acceptance letter, y'all.
Yeah.
I got that acceptance letter. And I was
letter.
just so grateful. Like, I was so grateful. And I didn't even know how it happened at all. I just blinked and I was just like, I changed every last habit. Like, when I look back to that, that was like the first time where I feel like I really shifted my perspective and my beliefs about myself. Because I changed my lifestyle. I changed my habits. I changed everything just so that I basically changed my everyday habits to fit how I would be if I was in the school already.
Right.
I was like, who am I going to be?
did.
And I did. Because it's like the present person that you're building yourself up to be is going to inevitably be your future self. So it's like whatever choices that you have and the choices that you make today will inevitably affect everything that happens in the future.
Right. Right. That's exactly what Michelle Obama said. If you don't clean up your room as a kid, you ain't going to clean up your room as an adult. If you don't study as a kid, you're not going to be able to focus at work as an adult.
Yeah.
If you don't do things as a kid, you're not going to be able to do it as an adult. Like, you're going to be working and scrambling like hell to try to figure out the things that trying to break these childhood things. And that's why a lot of us have these challenges, because it's very hard to break it. If you don't learn that shit early, it's super hard to break. Like, even like my challenges with money and organizing my finances and stuff like that. Like, I'll be on it, and then I fall off it, and I'll be on it, and like, you see me on this roller coaster, and hence the podcast and all the other beauty, business, and banking things that I have created is because I want to continue to learn. Like, I want to fix myself. It gotta be another way, and that's why I just keep at it. And I know it's more people like me that do have challenges in different parts of their life, especially their finances. And I feel like when you fix that one financial part of it, it's like, I feel like things do fall into place because you're not worried about money.
100%.
When you're worrying about money, it's hard to focus on anything. It's super hard. But Charlie, this book has been amazing.
Thank you.
Like, I had to print it out. I love how you can write in the book. It's questions, and then you can write at the bottom of it. I love that part of the book. It's an ebook. It comes in a PDF,
Yes.
right? When you purchase the book, it comes in a PDF. And you can print it out. I printed it out. I bought the book. My friends bought the book. I think it will be fantastic. I love the pictures in the book. I think it will be a fantastic read for a high schooler, college, adult that you think you got it all together, and you realize after reading this book that you don't have it all together and that you need therapy. And you're never too old for something different, right? And I know for me and my friends, I'm like, I know that we talk about, life situations all the time. And what I brought to the table with my friends, I said, we always looking for bigger and better. How would you consider simple and different? We always looking for bigger and better, but will you consider simple and different? It's just something to think about. Because maybe that big and better thing may be something that's simple and different. And just because it's not the grandstand cartwheel you know, at the Olympics, it still could be something fantastic and wonderful and great,
Yeah,
you know?
100%.
Yeah. But I love this book, Charlie.
Thank you.
I'm so proud of you. Is there anything else you wanted to add
Yes.
to the viewers?
This
You're gonna
is
see
so
it.
cool, guys. Like, I have not seen this. She's like, I want to surprise you. And I feel like this is just so cute. I just want to say that the brand name of the ebook is called The Rose Knows. And I'm just very excited about it. And if you're looking to purchase it, I just want you, just a little disclaimer, it's not very read. It's more action-based. Because I feel like all change comes from action. So it does explain, it does give you an understanding, but a lot of it is about action. If you want to change, you're going to have to put some action behind it.
Yes, you are. I love The Rose Knows.
The Rose Knows.
I love that. Like CharliRose, like The
Yes.
Rose Knows.
Yes.
I love that. Where'd you get that name?
My dad.
Aw.
My dad is always like, The Rose Knows. Like, he's always been saying it to me. And then I was like, what do I name like this business? And I was like, The Rose Knows. Like, that's
I love that.
right?
I love that. I love that. I love that. I'm definitely going to put the information in the bio to make sure that you guys purchase and support. We have to support our kids. We have to uplift them. We have to push them. We have to make sure that they're moving in a direction. And especially if your kids are doing something positive, support them. Support them. She didn't ask me to help her write this. She wrote this all on her own. All on her own. She uploaded it all on her own. I printed it out on my own after I purchased it, but she did it all on her own. And are you proud of yourself?
I'm very proud of myself. Like, I genuinely didn't even know what I was doing when I wrote it. Like,
did.
I dropped it and everyone's like, author. And I was like, wait, I am an author.
You're
like,
an author.
What?
So we got dancer.
Oh yeah. Okay, we can.
What is it? Like what are your titles now? Because you keep adding on
I
to them.
do keep
What is
adding
it?
on to them. Okay.
You got dancer.
Dancer, model, actress, author, day trader.
Oh.
Day trader.
Okay.
And soon to be graduate. Okay.
Okay. Fantastic, Charlie.
Thank you, Mom.
I'm so happy for you.
Thank you.
Oh. I'm so happy.
Thank you. I literally can't stop smiling.
I
right now.
know. I'm just so proud of you. Like I
Thank
really,
you.
really am. And it's okay to let your kids know that you're proud of them, especially when they make a huge accomplishment for something that exceeded their expectations. Just say, babe, I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
I am. So this has been Beauty, Business, and Banking, and I hope you guys got more out of this than I got out of it. The details will be in the bio. Till next time, this is Beauty, Business, and Banking. Please subscribe and